Okay, hello and welcome to the Vintage ManaTraders 15K. We're playing 7 rounds of Swiss, 107 players today. Competing in probably going to be the biggest prize vintage tournament until Eternal Weekend. I'm playing the Esper Tinker deck. It's basically an all-in Tinker deck revolving around Urza's Saga, Time Vault Key, and then a bunch of restricted Magic the Gathering cards. Pretty standard list. I just don't play Hull Breacher because I don't think wheels are good. I don't think Hull Breacher is good. And my techie card choices for this weekend are balanced because I expected a lot of creatures, which is the case. And Opposition Agent for the mirror, and there are a decent amount of mirror opponents. Our round 1 opponent is waiting for us, so let's go find them. All right. So I'm on Saga. I found my round 1 opponent. My round 1 opponent is on a spicy meatball. Team leader has been playing all kinds of blue-red aggro decks, but today we've got 1 Blood Moon, a Teamer Battle Rage, Manamorphose, Mutagenic Growth, Kiln Fiend, Sprite Dragon, Ragavan. Oh boy. We got a whole lot of things happening here. Let's see how we can do. Of note, 2 Pyroblasts in the main deck and 0 Flusters in the main deck and 2 Negations. So we got a kind of a spicy brew to play against right now. This hand looks perfectly fine. Bunch of mana, Ancestral. I guess we could just die to a Kiln Fiend, but my opponent has mulligan to 5. Yeah, I kind of cut it close on time there. Wasn't the best deck intro, but oh well. We'll live. Not turn 1 Tinker, as Merchant Scroll still can't find sorceries. Alright. We got a Monkey with Dash. Interesting. And a Sprite Dragon. And a Kiln Fiend. Okay, so my opponent has got 1 card left in their hand. But I am getting hit with a Monkey here. Monkey says Demonic Tutor. All right, well, that would have been turn 1 Tinker. I actually did have a turn 1 Tinker lined up with that Demonic Tutor, but the Pilfer has taken it away. And this Preordain put top, which is not a good sign for me. But I do assume I have basic free reign to do whatever the hell I want here. And what about Dazes? Any Dazes? No Dazes. Okay. Good to know. I'm looking like I'm just gonna go Merchant Scroll Ancestral. If they have their last 2 cards are negation. No, one of their cards is Ragavan, so they can't even have negation. So yeah, let's just get the Ancestral first. What if I go Mystical Tutor Tinker? Can I get there? Mystical Tutor, Preordain. Now I'm like super short, right? Yeah, I'm like super short. Just go Ancestral. Sphinx of the Steel Wind, huh? I just got Preordain. Saga Yogwill. Interesting. I think should I just put the Saga on top so that they exile it with Ragavan and they don't get anything? That is how Ragavan works, right? Let me read Ragavan real quick. You may cast it. Okay, so I would get a Yogwill for my next turn where I would be able to go Black Lotus Ancestral again. So yeah, I think that's probably fine. So let's just make sure we blank this Ragavan. And then we'll play Island. I guess I should be checking Wastelands as well. No Wastelands, just a strip mine, okay? I already know what my card's going to be, so let's just get all of our things in play. Oh, I did just draw the Saga. Whoops. Playing too fast. It's not the end of the world, but if I was going to draw the Saga, I wish I had played the Saga. So this is just going to exile my Yogg-Will, which is fine. Not a big deal. If I keep blanking Monkey with my Sensei's Divining Top, this game should be pretty easy to win. No, I definitely do not want to give them a top. I can tell you that with fair amount of certainty that I definitely do not want to give them a top. It's really not a big deal. Like, the Yogg-Will would probably have won the game, but... All right, now I can mental misstep the Ragavan. Let's just do that. We're pretty close to casting the Sphinx, right? We just need 2 colors of mana. I guess I should have played this Urza Saga. I don't know. I'm playing pretty badly this morning. I should wake up. Probably just gonna die to this Kiln Fiend because I'm just taking random game actions. My bad. I don't know why I'm just like completely out of focus. Maybe because it's a little early, but I don't know. I definitely should have played the Urza Saga there so I could actually get a blocker because this Kiln Fiend can't beat an Urza Saga. But for some reason, I just did not play the Saga. If I lose this game, it's like 100% on me making 4 or 5 errors in a row. I mean, I expect them to play this Ragavan again, and we'll just draw into this daze anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But all right, so I guess we'll just take a Narset. Yeah, we might just die to this Kiln Fiend. It's definitely possible here. Taking a Narset will keep me away from Sphinx, but I guess I could just take both fetch lands and play a Sphinx. That's gotta be worse than playing a Saga and being able to make blockers. Oh my god. I'm just gonna die, chat. I'm actually gonna lose because I didn't play this Saga. Oh well. I mean, if I draw a sword, my 1 swords, I guess it's fine. All right, I can vamp for a removal spell. Puts me to 4, and they have 3 lightning bolts in their deck. Is that really what I want to do? Problem is, if I vamp for a removal spell, then I don't actually have the colorful manas. So I could vamp for a Time Walk. I could vamp for a Tinker at 4. Yeah, I could just look at my next cards. Found a Tinker. What does that do for me? So I would win this game if I hadn't drawn my Sphinx right now by tinkering a Sphinx. I really threw this game in about 7,000 different ways. If I had just played this Urza Saga on turn 2, we would just have Vault Key right now. I'm not getting Brainstorm and Tinker, chat. That's just not happening. I don't have the mana to do that. Yeah, YOLOing a Citadel doesn't really seem good at 6 life with no top. Well, the problem with vamping for a Time Walk is I then have to redraw top, and I have no colors. Then I'm at 4, and I just die to Kiln Fiend. And I don't even have a white mana to make an activation, so I don't really think that's good either. I don't know. I threw this game. I'm not really concerned about it. I just think there's like 10 decisions in the past that would have won, but I don't have any of them anymore, so don't really know if there's a way out of this, because both of my answers involve white mana. Like, if I didn't play these islands, I could then vamp and have a Saga token, right? But I just played a Saga for I just never played my Saga. Going to 3 to Vampiric just seems so bad to me. I'm just gonna tinker. Well, yeah, I died. I played this game so bad. There's just 0 chance my opponent should ever win this game. Oh well. It's so tilting. Okay, alright, focus. Is that prismatic ending and swords and fluster? Mystic. Gone. Op gone. Narset gone. Hercule's gone. Keep both Tinker targets. Vamp gone. And Needle gone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is round 1, game 2. I'm pretty sure the only thing I had to do to win that game was play my Saga on turn 2, which I wasn't actually supposed to have because I was supposed to give my opponent the Saga. There is exactly 1 Painter player in this tournament, but no one plays Painter in Vintage now. Yeah, oh well. Regroup. Yeah. Yeah, simply making a construct is enough to beat my opponent's was going to be enough to beat my opponent's deck. So my opponent is boarding in 1 Null Rod and 3 Shattering Sprees and maybe 2 Alpine Moons for Saga, which is a pretty big board. But still no like Fluster Storms, just still only 2 Pyroblasts. Pretty weird. Did you watch my Fiddlebender Painter video? Because I did that. I did the thing. Yeah, it seems fine. Well, I definitely lost out because I decided to pay mana. If I hadn't paid mana, I would have drawn Saga and just played it here. But instead, I have to wait a turn on the Saga. Probably doesn't matter, but I think I would rather. Yeah, I think I'd rather ponder. Yeah, I guess we'll draw Force for now, and then we'll draw Yogg, and we'll fetch away the other Polluted Delta. Oh, yeah. my last challenge video is Oswald Painter. So the deck's cool, but it's again not a Force of Will deck. They went bottom. They have Pyroblast. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to lose to the Saga, right? There's just like kind of no way for them to beat that. I should fetch. They don't have. Oh, I guess they could have Strip Mine, but then they would just Strip Mine Saga. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I assume here they're just gonna Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. They don't have Misty. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna let them do all of this. That's fine. I can Yogg-Will back my Saga too, which is fun. I don't know. A top probably. We get a Soul Guide Lantern. So if I get a Soul Guide Lantern, I can crack it, and then I can't replay it. Well, hold on. I crack it. I get to Ponder and Probe, but don't get to replay it. I could just get Black Lotus, which gives me a ton of extra mana for my Yawgmoth's Will.
Haven't been around in a while. Hope event goes well.
Sorry. Appreciate it. You know, maybe this is like greedy. So by doing this, I can get back my Saga and still cast blue spells. Well, I don't really want any of that. Oh, I guess I could have balanced away their hand, but then I lose my constructs, so never mind. Another Saga is fine. I don't know why I'm playing so fast and loose this morning. Really weird. I feel like I am playing just like in a very awkward and bad way. I don't know why. My opponent has to draw Alpine Moon, right? Or they lose. Even that, they have to draw Alpine Moon and Shattering Spree, I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's focus for the on the draw game 3. So we should be 2-0, but let's just focus and hopefully we don't get Kiln Fiended. We do have a lot of removal, but it's a little hard to cast removal in our deck because our mana is so shit. So it should be interesting. Our deck is, I don't know. I had a Tundra instead of an Island in the last prelim we streamed. But then I had multiple times where I wanted a second Island and couldn't get it. But I'm just not sure we have enough white mana to cast all of our stuff. Well, this looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm down. Just need to draw a Saga, really, or even another blue land. Sure. Okay, that's interesting. They have 2 negations, so I really don't want to cast Ancestral on my turn. I think I just hold open everything. I don't really want to cast Mana Crypt Time Vault because My opponent is on a Null Rod, and I really don't want to have a Mana Crypt in play if they have a Null Rod. No, they have 2 Pyroblasts. So I think it makes sense to Swords. All right, this got forced.
Good luck today.
It's not played. So any land or Moxen lets me ending. If not, I can just Ancestral. Flusterstorm is so good here if I had more colorful mana. Well, if they negate this, I think it's okay. Okay, they didn't negate this, which means we should win the game. If they're F6'd, I might as well Prismatic Ending this now. You really shouldn't F6 here, because I don't think I would Prismatic Ending this if I didn't see my opponent as F6'd. But if they're going to do that, then sure. Yeah, this looks pretty much a 1 game, I would say. Now I F6'd. Okay, Alpine Moon, so we can't Saga, but that's fine. We don't need Saga in this game. They're down to 1 card. Yeah, I mean, even if it was an Arcanist, it wouldn't have changed the course of this game, right? I just think that the spell configuration from the rest of my opponent's deck is probably not ideal. So I can go Mana Crypt, Yogwell, Swords, Ancestral. Sure, let's just do that. Yeah, I'll just pass. All right, so as per usual, Justin was never punished for atrocious play. I can't stress enough how bad I played in game 1. I think there were 95 avenues to victory, and I chose one of the 5 that did not get me there. But it's fine. It's fine. Never punished. Never punished. It is, it's magic. I think we are extremely far away from more emotes because I got the current set of emote like the current number from emote back when we had a really big surge of subscribers. So I mean, we could just change one of the underused ones to I'm actually F6 or I'm actually punt or something like that. Hold on. So I need to force this to get enough mana to go Vault Key this turn. All right. Oh, I'm glad we made it through that. That was really hard to watch. So I don't know how you guys are all watching, because from my point of view, that was extremely hard to watch. Let's stretch. Let's get some food and some water and try to come back and do better. Let's put it that way. All right, chat. Here we are. Round 2. ManaTraders Vintage. We're playing against Thunder Striker 7, who is on Yuta Takahashi deck, 4-color Monkey, Deathray Shamans, Ragavans, Collector Roofs, Endurance, Tarmogoyf, Renin 6, Oko, Narset, Restricted Spells, 2 main deck Force of Vigor, 1 main deck Unholy Heat, Taiga, Bayou, Fiery Islet, Nope. 3 Wasteland, 1 Strip Mine. What a deck. Wow. What a deck. All right, let's battle. 2 Force of Vigors in the main deck is something that we have to keep in mind. It's a big deal. This hand is not keepable. Try again. Oof. Hand is, I'm going to keep this hand, but I'm a little scared. I'm not exactly sure what I'm putting back either. It might just be Force of Will. I think it's possible that it's just Force of Will. But I guess it could be Mana Crypt, theoretically. Yeah, maybe it's Mana Crypt. I'm gonna put back Mana Crypt, I think. Why does it keep refreshing and getting rid of my... So, unfortunately, this Brainstorm, it's just not great. Without a fetch land. Fiery Islet on turn 1. Ragavan? No Ragavan. I'm not gonna Brainstorm, I'm just gonna draw. This is Ancestral. Alright, it's pretty free. No Dazes, obviously, in my opponent's Taiga Fiery Islet mana base. So just 1 Fluster, 2 Pyro, 4 Force. I'm gonna play slower. I gotta play slower here. Don't speed up like last round. Balance. That's kind of interesting. I can lose a land. I can lose this Academy. To make my opponent discard 4. If they force, I force, and they discard their whole hand. If they yeah, I'm kind of in on this plan, I think. It's a little weird, but... Alright, choose a land to control, sack the rice. Alright, I'm gonna choose to keep this island. So I lose my Academy, which was only a non-basic island right now anyways, and I get to discard 4 cards from my opponent's hand. Yeah, I mean, that is something I'm willing to do, I think. Should be interesting to find out what they discard here. It's not a play that I've made in a long time because I just haven't been playing Balance in the main in the recent meta games. So I got rid of Deathrite, Tarmogoyf, Fluster. Sure. Three cards in my opponent's hand, 2 cards in my hand, 2 mana to 1 mana, Brainstorm. Sure. It's interesting my opponent chose to Ancestral. Okay, so they're our Brainstorm locked right now. Because they had a Flusterstorm if they just waited. It makes me think they actually had no lands besides Islet, right? Because you wouldn't go Islet Ancestral if you had the ability to play Deathrite Shaman and then hold up Flusterstorm. So what can we learn from this? We can probably learn that my opponent didn't have any lands when they cast this Brainstorm, which is another good reason to let the Brainstorm resolve because they're going to Brainstorm lock themselves. Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing Fiery Islet in my Deathrite Shaman deck. Doesn't really sound correct to me. It's an odd deck though. Taiga Bayou, Fiery Islet. Well, I definitely can't let that resolve. All right. I have to top deck something, but if I top deck a Tinker... God. Yeah, I guess I could have let it resolve and brainstormed with the trigger on the stack, but I don't really think that's good play. I can't keep these because I don't have a black mana, because I drew both my islands. That's a great draw, though. Okay. Force of Will, Force of Vigor, 2 Pyro, no Flusters left. Collector Oof immediately. Yeah, alright. I guess we have to preordain and bottom those. I mean, it's kind of awkward to be bottoming this Demonic Tutor, but I don't really think I'm allowed to keep it. Doesn't really feel like a card I should be keeping. All I want to see is like a Saga, right? As long as I don't get strip mined, I have my 2 basic islands. This is kind of the perfect spot for Saga. No, I don't think that's a strong play. Oh, they drew Treasure Cruise? Oh. Balance didn't really work out. Though I don't have an academy, so it might be better than I'm giving it credit for. At least they can't use these treasures. They can only just like get hidden. Kind of just need to draw fetch land or Gonna hold that for a possible mentor trigger. The good thing about this is it's kind of just a Zergo right now. Can't really play the spells that they're casting off the top. And all these cards that they've hit so far have been dead draws, so I haven't been unhappy, but I am running out of time. Needle. Well, I guess we'll needle and we'll name Wasteland. Though I don't really think I have enough time here for it to matter. Opponent probably even has a force for my mentor at this point, right? They just haven't drawn any lands. I think this has gone pretty poorly. I'm not exactly sure if we could have played it in a better way. Maybe firing off the balance was bad? It's possible. We've watched this Ragavan exile like 5 cards we don't want to draw, so that's been nice. But I mean, I have a 16 land deck. I really should have drawn a land at some point here, right? But I just haven't drawn a single land. Like, even the cards my opponent exiled were not lands. So it was going to be pretty hard to win this game without drawing lands. Like, a Saga would have been pretty much... I think a Saga would be game winning before. So I'm probably just gonna force this Ragavan. Oh, they're gonna go for Deathrite. Sure, I'll force it. Whatever. I don't really have any choices anymore. They have lightning bolts in their deck? They don't. Okay. Well, if I draw a fetch land and a mentor resolves, the game is not over. Okay, of course. All right, I do think we drew poorly, but I'm not sure if we were going to win that game, even if we drew well. We just didn't draw any lands, right? All right, so Prismatic Ending is insane. Swords is good. Swords is really good. Probably want all of our needles and our flusters to beat Vigor, right? That's what I've been told. And then we can take out like Mystical, Hercules, Vamp. Opposition Agent, Narset, Citadel. Yeah, they can't beat a Sphinx. I have to take out more cards. Jeez. How do I even take out more cards here? Soul Guide Lantern. And top, maybe? Sure, this looks fine. My opponent's got even more hate. They got 2 more Collector Roofs, 2 more Force of Vigors, a Mindbreak Trap, another Pyroblast, and 2 more Flusterstorms. So my opponent is ready. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I could have played that game differently. It was not a strong keep on 6. This hand looks bad. I don't want it. This hand looks like I'm gonna get wastelanded and die, but I don't think I'm allowed to mulligan this one. Let me get rid of this Ponder. All right, there's like about 8,000 ways this can end badly for me, but I don't really think you're allowed to mulligan Saga, Tinker, Force. I'm not playing the Pearl in case my opponent has End Step Vigor and Force backup. Hopefully we'll just draw a land for our turn and we'll go land Mox. If that's fine. If not, then we could just Pearl it. But we kind of want to hit a mana source here so that we can make Saga tokens. Of course not. All right, well, looks like we're going to be all in on a Tinker for Sphinx with Force backup. See what our opponent does here. Though, if they play an Oof and they have Force backup, we do lose. Yeah. Nope, they didn't have Force backup, so this might be a win then. Kind of just a shove it. Hope it works out kind of play. We really don't have any other choices. And this... I guess this doesn't have to be Black Lotus. It can just be Sapphire. No days, right? But like, what am I tinkering away? I guess I'm tinkering away Sapphire anyways, so maybe that sucks. I don't know. Whatever. If they had a force and they chose not to force to protect their Collector Roof, I think that's just wrong. All right, so I don't think my opponent can beat a Sphinx. Let's find out together. I guess they have... Nope, I don't think they can beat this card. Nope, they cannot beat this card. Okay, so we've won this game. That was very, very lucky. If my opponent simply had a Force of Will, we would lose this game. Or a Wasteland, we would lose this game. Or a Vigor and an Oof, we would lose this game. Like, my opponent could have had many combinations of Magic the Gathering cards. But yeah, again, how about just respecting Sphinx and putting an answer in your deck? I really don't get it. I don't get it. You just the disrespect is too real in this deck building. Yeah. So we go again. I just don't get it. Eventually people will find the way. Jeez, these hands have been terrible. Round 1 I had some pretty sick hands, so yeah. I don't think you have to disrespect it. I'm pretty sure you can respect it. Ooh, this is a trap. If I had a Tundra, I might keep it. But because I don't have a Tundra, it's just a trap. I'm just going to go to 5. Are they at 7? Unfortunate. Geez. I'm just so dead. Okay, yeah, this is fine. I will mulligan this and this. All right. I lose to Collector Roof, Wasteland, Force of Vigor. I don't know, man. This Saga does not look okay. I guess it did win the last game, so. So, what is the best way to play this? Probably, I am Prismatic Ending it. See what they do. A mental misstep. I could have played around that technically by playing my Saga. That's an interesting idea. I wonder if I was supposed to do that. So I just lose the game to Vigor here, right? I don't really feel like I have counterplay, so. Yeah, I mean, I'm super scared. My deck just can't beat Force of Vigor. But if my opponent just never has it, then maybe it's fine. I guess we should be scared of Collector Roof, which is a reason not to play Saga here. But no, I think PO is really, really bad. I don't think registering PO makes any sense. All right, so it seems like we just dodged Collector Roof and Vigor again, which means they must have a bunch of flusters or something. Yeah, well, that's a shining example of why you shouldn't register PO. If Wombo's playing it, like, there you go. Probably shouldn't play something that Wombo registers. All right, well, I dodged Vigor, Oof, and every card. I dodged every card in both of these games so far, so we'll take it. I can only say I think we're running, or our opponents are running very cold. Oko, sure. Sure. Oh yeah, and we also dodged Wasteland. Yeah, we basically dodged every problematic card so far. Let's hope that holds up. Ooh, actual factual every single card. I think this matchup is probably extremely bad. I think my opponent should 1000% be Elking Pearl here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I would. But obviously, I see my hand, so it's a little hard to say. I don't think I agree. Yeah, I think the lines my opponent took haven't been the strongest. So I am down on the ability to Flusterstorm here, but that's fine. So we just Needle Oko, or do we Needle Deathrite? Probably have to Needle Oko, or the Needle on Deathrite doesn't do anything. There's not that many cards. I guess there is going to be a land in the yard. So there will be 2 lands in the yard. I'm probably just supposed to Needle Oko. I'm going to hold open Fluster. I don't think that playing this key changes anything too badly. Just going to attack them and just try to race. Yeah, I think my opponent, if they had Elked Pearl, they would probably be in a better spot. Yeah, I don't really think I was supposed to win a lot of these games. Or, well, I haven't played that many games, but I don't think I was supposed to win game 1 or game 2. And this game, I also feels like I might be sneaking it. Okay. Ragavan, you got it. I also have unblockable constructs at some point in this game, which is interesting. Okay. Okay, so what is my plan? What is my plan? I think I still want to hold open Fluster. I do think I want a Prismatic Ending A blocker. I think I just want to hit a Deathrite Shaman with a Prismatic Ending, play a key. Key first, why? Why do you want to play key first? You could be right, I just want to know why. What is the reasoning behind playing key first? So that my Prismatic Ending can get Flusterstormed? That doesn't sound good. I'm gonna keep the island so that I can't get it wastelanded and still represent A swords. What counter? The number one counter they can do is Flusterstorm, and if I play my key first, I can get my Prismatic Ending Flusterstormed. They've already played Mental Misstep this game. So I don't understand why you want to play key first. Unfortunately, I am 1 point off of lethal here. It would let me fluster a Pitched Force. Interesting. Don't think I care about them forcing a Prismatic Ending, though. It might buy them an additional turn, but if I hit if I hit a artifact here, I guess they have to get to eat too, so never mind. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's totally fine. I just want to hear what your reasoning was, Rodukov. Because obviously I don't agree with that sequencing, but obviously I could also be missing something, so I'm down to hear it. So is this hard cast Vigor and then we have a Fluster? No, it's hard cast Dig Through Time. All right, they're dead. Goodbye. Sayonara. Woo! I feel like we stole that one. I feel like we absolutely stole that one. I don't know how you're supposed to beat 4 Vigor, 4 Wasteland. Yeah, I think we got very, very lucky there. Very, very lucky. I'll take it, but whew, that was a hard matchup. Here we go, chat. 2-0 going into round 3. We're versus a fellow data collector, helpful person extraordinaire. QE. Yeah. They're playing Oops All Spells. So Balestride, Spy, City Informer, Thassa's Oracle combo with 4 Pact of Negation, Charbelchers, Forces, Tinker. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right. Because I know that they're on Oops All Spells, this hand is not remotely keepable, which is nice. My opponent has mulligan to 5, but again, this hand doesn't have a force of will. I feel like if I want to play against Oops All Spells, I should be keeping a force of will, right? On the play, I would probably... I don't even know if I would keep this on the play. I think this is just a mulligan. Like, what am I going to do? Just play turn 1 Mentor and hope I don't die in the first 2 turns to Oops All Spells on 5? It doesn't really seem like a good avenue, but going to 5... Like, I could also go, like, just Vamp. I could go Underground Sea, top, spin top, for, but there's just nothing. I can draw a Fluster? I have 3 Flusters. Maybe that is good enough. So if I don't die on turn 1, I have turn 2 Tinker. God, on a mulligan to 5 for the opponent. I think it's close enough. I think it's close. I think it's close. I don't think we're playing turn 1 Mentor, though. I don't think we're playing turn 1 Mentor. I think we're holding up Vamp / Flusterstorms. Well, it depends on... So my opponent kept a 5-card hand. Let's find out what happens. Okay. Okay. So we die next turn. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't think this is a keep. It's tough. It's tough. Oh. Well. Okay. I should play top to play around mental misstep. I didn't. I'm bad. What can I say? Yeah, I misplayed there. I still ended up misplaying somehow. I'm playing atrocious today. Actually, there's no mental misstep in my opponent's deck. Never mind, I'm playing perfect. I lied. There's no mental misstep. I knew exactly what I was doing. I would agree. It does seem like a deck building error. Okay, so I just vamp for Citadel now, right? Seems good. Vamp for Tinker away my Mana Crypt, and then should be pretty winning. I cannot believe I luck sacked this win. It was a bad keep. I'm gonna say it now. I think it was a bad keep. Why isn't mental misstep free in Oops? Am I missing something? Well, I went to 13. So Yogwill here does let me tinker a Sphinx. And possibly vamp for Time Walk. It's kind of an interesting one. I kind of think I want to go past it, though. That is interesting one as well. Well, I guess this doesn't help me against well, I mean, they have to find mana. It doesn't help me against like Mana Crypt, the other thing. Certainly drawing a bunch of cards I don't want here. I'm kind of just going to try to put a Mentor in play this turn is what I'm trying to do. I think I'd rather even just bottom this. Huh. Maybe. I'm trying to get to Mentor Fluster now. I'm not drawing Moxen, though. So Demonic... Time Walk... Still short? So what about Demonic Yogwill? So if I go Underground Sea, Demonic, Lotus, Yogwill... That's probably going to be good enough. I don't know, I didn't do the math. Not sure I can throw this, but I might. Can I get to Mentor? I want to go Mentor Time Walk. But maybe I can't make it there. Oh, I don't have another fucking Underground Sea. Okay, well, I'm trying my best. Oh, it's too funny. I can't. I need to get all these. I need to. Me. Why am I throwing so badly? I want to play Mentor and have Flusterstorm back up. Is that too much to ask? I just need any Moxen. I guess this lets me Time Walk. Anyway, I get fucked here. Doesn't look like it. I guess Force. They could still have Force. I guess I lose this game if they still have Force. No, I don't, because I can Fluster. Okay, I'm good. All right, so Sapphire, Mystical, Time Walk, Draw. Okay, we're fine. So, Cast. Time Walk. Draw. Time Walk. And then Probably just replay top. It's better than probing. Maybe it's not. Two Undercity Informers. Okay. All right, so I don't think we can lose as long as we put Mentor in play next turn. Wow, I really made this game difficult for myself. I think I've been playing like pretty subpar today, I would say. So can I make 10 creatures before activating Citadel and going again? I don't really think I can. Well, I guess I do have Time Walk now, so it's fine. I can just go Mentor, Demonic, Lotus, Time Walk. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, that'll do it. Mentor, Demonic. Oh, Justin. I don't know. I don't like how I played it. Let's just put it that way. I don't think I was in danger of losing, but I definitely had other choices. Like, all I really wanted to do was to be able to pass the turn with a Mentor, a token, and holding up Flusterstorm was the idea. And maybe I didn't really do that very well. All right, don't play... I don't want to play Mana Crypta here. I just play Black Lotus, Time Walk, Ancestral. Yeah. Okay. All right. Regroup. I don't think there was ever a point there where I was like in super danger, but it definitely wasn't an optimal sequencing. I think I got in my own head a little bit. All right. So my opponent has Chains of Vapor, Mental Misstep, Force of Negation, Charbelcher, Leyline, Sphinx, and Blightsteel. So I don't think they're bringing in Leyline, Sphinx, Blightsteel. They might bring in Charbelcher if I bring in like Rav Trap. They're definitely going to bring in Negation and Mental Misstep. So I want to take out Sphinx, bring in Lavinia, bring in Negation, bring in Needles, bring in Rav Traps. Probably. And then I want to take out Sphinx. I want to leave Opposition Agent. Probably don't need Mentor. Don't want Balance. Urkel's Recall is an interesting maybe one of to keep in. Do you ever want swords? I guess it like could be fine. Kind of a weird deck. No, the way they're running with 4 Narcomoeba, you probably don't want any swords. We gotta be careful not to go too much for the graveyard plan when they have 4 Charbelchers, but we do have 3 Needles, so the Charbelcher plan should be pretty reasonable to beat. I don't actually think we want this Hercules, even though they can get like Citadel. I don't think that matters too much. I think we can take out an island, so maybe this makes the most sense. But we could get another Flusterstorm for basically, it's just for Force and Dark Ritual and Pact. That might be reasonable. Hard to say. Misstep, Probe, Narset, Opposition, Yogwill, Needle. I don't think it's necessary. I kind of think I want my tutors. I could be wrong though. I could definitely be wrong that maybe you do want. Maybe you board like a Saga out and you have a Fluster. But Saga is nice with our like hold open counterspell plan. I've been thinking a lot about my opponent's deck recently, whether it like matches a deck to play against the current metagame. I decided in the end I didn't think it was a good choice, but it was something I did think about. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Doesn't have a turn 1 force. I think the hand I kept in my last game was sketchy, and I don't believe if I was given the choice again that I would keep it again. I think we were bailed out pretty hard by my opponent mulliganing and me top decking Needle. How do they win? So my opponent would activate Undercity Informer, flipping over their deck into their graveyard, putting 4 Narcomoebas into play, casting Cabal Therapy on me, targeting me, and then Dread returning a Thassa's Oracle. Because my opponent plays no lands in their deck. They play only 8 spell lands. And Moxen. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to mulligan this hand. I don't have a force. I'm going to keep this hand. Because Ravenous Trap should beat... Ravenous Trap should beat the Oops All Spells combo. It's like a force, and then Needle should beat Charbelcher, Lantern should help beat, and then I also have Saga Time Vault, so this hand looks really, really good. I don't know what I'm going to put back. I guess I have to put back a land. This hand looks good. I'm definitely willing to keep this. See what my opponent gets up to here. All right, Lotus. Blue. Doesn't beat Tinker Citadel, though. Which is what it looks like is happening. That is the downside to not keeping actual force. Doesn't look like we're getting a turn. Unless my opponent... I don't even know if my opponent can brick. They can hit Force of Will as their brick. I guess that's also kind of a brick. I'm going to make them play it out, though. Because if they go for like an oops kill, I do still have that beat. Doesn't seem like we're getting a turn. I still think my keep was good. I would keep this again in a heartbeat. It has answers to mostly everything. All right, they're going for the oops kill. So they have to have a force, a pact in their hand or on top of their library. Look at the cards. They do have a Force of Will in their hand. Okay, we lost. Yeah, you're right. They have to have it in their hand. So 1 force, 2 force. They have 2 forces. 1 force is here. 2 forces, 3 forces. So they have a force, but they might not have a blue card. Let's look at packs. 1 pack. I don't want to show them that I boarded in Rab Trap unless I have to. 1 packed, 2 packed, 3 packed. So they're missing both a pact and a force. So I don't think there's any reason to try. Force, pact. Unless they boarded some out in the matchup. All right, I guess that's probably reasonable. I don't think they would, but give it a shot. Okay, I got pacted. Okay. Oh, I didn't see Dread return. 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 I didn't see Dre I also didn't see Cabal Therapy. I might have oh no, here's Dread Return. Never mind. Okay, dope. Do we want to bring in Fluster 4? Maybe we do want to bring in Fluster 4 and just like take out Mystical or something. Oh, I can take out Top, I guess. Yeah, just bring in Fluster 4. Yep. Yeah, yep. I think the keep was fine. My opponent had turn 1 Tinker with Pack backup, so. Not too worried. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, so we want a counterspell and we want a powerful play, or just a pile of counterspells and needles and stuff. See, like this doesn't do it. I don't believe this does it. Because they could easily have just a bunch of Moxen mana. So I'm going to put this one back. This is definitely not going to do it. So I like this hand, actually. I've got a probe to see what's up. I have a trap for their graveyard combo. I have a misstep for rituals and mana sources. I have a Saga, which will eventually get me a Lotus. Obviously, there's a lot of risk inherent in this keep, but or not even a Lotus, just like mana sources. But I think I just bottom the Citadel and keep this hand. We also get perfect information in a random card draw, so it'll be fun when we get perfect information and know we're dead, but what's a guy to do? All right, my opponent has mulligan to 5. That is definitely a feature of the opponent's deck. It is, relies on a very specific set of draws, so it does do a lot of mulliganing. I'm pretty sure most decks are better than Mono White Slasher, so if it has Force of Wills, it sounds better to me. Excuse me, sorry. All right, my opponent has kept their 5-card hand. Let's see what it is. Their opponent's hand is Cabal Therapy, Seagate Restoration, Informer, Demonic Tutor. Interesting. So we have that fairly covered. Should we play Saga or should we vamp? What are we vamping for? We should play Saga so that we can get a needle faster, probably. Or we could just vamp for a needle. I guess we should be worried about Tinker somehow. So maybe we should just be holding open for a vamp for some kind of counter spell. Maybe we just want to be vamping for like a force or something. I'm gonna hold up vamp. Yeah, we could technically vamp for Time Vault. Yeah, it's definitely an option. Guess it kind of depends on how my opponent's turn goes and what they draw, right? So if my opponent like therapies me, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to misstep it. Though that would require them putting a black card underneath this Chrome Mox. I don't know how they would do that. If we were to vamp for Time Vault, we probably wanted to play Saga first. So I don't really think that's the line. I think vamping for like another piece of protection. No, I don't like that either. Yeah, maybe it is just vamp for Time Vault and put him on the clock. In which case we should definitely have led with Saga, right? We could also just vamp for Ancestral. It's pretty good as well. Probably better. It's probably better. I don't know. Like, if we had another piece of a combo, then Force is like more intriguing here. I'm gonna get Ancestral Recall. Yeah, I'm gonna get Ancestral. I've been convinced by myself to get Ancestral here. Okay, yeah, that's really, really strong. I feel like there are enough good cards in our deck for this matchup that getting Ancestral makes a lot of sense. This is Swiss. So basically, there was a qualifying set of matches where you would play any number of matches and have to achieve a certain win rate over the course of a month. And then this is a Swiss cut to the top 8 tournament. All right, here comes Chrome Mox. They pitched the Therapy. So this is Demonic Tutor. I don't see any reason to counter this, right? Like, they can go Black Lotus Undercity Informer. In which case, I have the ground covered and I have the graveyard covered. So I don't really see a compelling reason to counter this Demonic Tutor and losing my Black Lotus. Yeah, we drew pretty well off our Ancestral. I can't lie. We drew very well off our Ancestral. I think all I really want to draw for turn is just the Force of Will, right? Then I have Force, Fluster, Mental, and 2 traps with an active Saga. So I guess it's hard for me to make tokens at the moment. So maybe I just want to draw a Mana Source like a Mox. Let's see if my opponent goes Black Lotus Undercity Informer. They did not. So maybe they went for Counter Magic. Time Vault. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, if I get Belchered, I get Belchered. That is true. I mean, it's pretty hard for them to Belcher, like, having known their hand. I guess they would have to have drawn Belcher and got Lotus. Yeah, I mean, that could totally happen. I do still have a Brainstorm, but... I don't know. I don't really think it's correct to crack my Lotus and Fluster the Demonic. Oh, maybe we'll get Belchered. How much does it cost to do Belcher, right? It's 3 and 4, 7? Seems pretty challenging. Yep, I've definitely hard cast Rav Trap off of Lotus a lot in lots of random decks. Belcher's 7, so they would need like an Academy or something. They only have 3 unknowns in their hand. We know they have an Undercity Informer. Yep. So they probably have 1 pack backup and we have 3. So should be decent. So what's the order here? All right, they have 1 pact and 1 force. It's pretty good. Oh, right. Academy is not in the deck with no lands. I mean, I've played Academy and Belcher before. So, yeah, they had Forced Pitching Pact. So they only had 1 backup here. And we have triple backup, so... All right. I say that because I actually have played Academy and Mono Blue Belcher before. Okay, not bad. Enough interaction. I think we took good lines in that game, too. All right, here we are, chat. We're playing round 4. 3-0 in the ManaTraders. We're up against Dredge. It looks like not a fairly straightforward version of Dredge. It's actually a Dread Return Dredge deck, which is not something I've seen in a long time. So there's Flare of the Hatebound Rurik Thar. And then I'm looking at Therapies, a Noxious Revival, Bridges, Chills, 3 Dread Return. That's a lot of Dread Return. 2 Petrified Field in the main, only 3 Forces in the main, and then Depths combo in the board. Okay, so this is probably a budget version of Dredge then. I would assume that this is just a budget version that like can't afford to have too many of Force of Vigor, Force of Will, that kind of stuff. Which is good for us because we're not going to get Force of Vigored. This hand is not going to be good enough though. Even though Saga can go get our Needle, it's just not going to be fast enough. See if we can find a hand that has the Needle in the main deck, in the hand. Looking for a hand with a Needle or a Lantern or something powerful. Like a Tinker is still going to be really good against our opponent who has 3 forces. Yeah, it's like 2018 Dredge. I mean, it has Creeping Chills, so like obviously the list has been updated. Like it is playing like a Noxious Revival. I think it's just a budget version. Like, think about the cards that are missing. They're all extremely expensive, right? Force of Vigor, Force of Negation, Mindbreak Trap, Wasteland. It just seems like they cut all the expensive cards besides 3 Force of Wills. This probably, if I had to guess, I would say that this is a Dredge deck that fits under 100 tickets. I would assume that they have a ManaTraders budget of 100 tickets. Okay, so this has a Soul Guide Lantern and a Forest and an Ancestral. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. We'll just bin the uncastable cards. Yeah, I think this is a 100 ticket Dredge, which makes a lot of sense. I actually believe somebody asked for a 100 ticket deck, and so this is actually probably what we gave them. So not too bad though. 3-0 with an 100 ticket deck is awesome. My hand is not like superb, by the way. It does have a main deck Dredge Hate and a Force and an Ancestral, but doesn't have any mana, so we'll have to see what happens. So if my opponent plays a hollow one, I will probably force it. We just basically have to draw a blue source for our Ancestral, and then we should be in okay shape. The Lantern should buy us 100 time. A bunch of time. Okay, so my opponent only has 1 Dredger, so this Lantern should be in a great place. All right, well, that's not a good draw for sure. I'm gonna hit their Dredger here. I could also hit their Icarid. I don't think that's better than hitting their Dredger though. All right, yeah, like I said, I didn't keep a hand that has a blue land, so we are playing on the back of this Lantern for as long as it takes, I guess. So I guess they will probably activate in response to this Icarid, maybe bring the Icarid into play if they want to. Yeah, I mean, I think I like this keep for game 1 versus Dredge, so I'm not upset. I do think that I have to draw like an island at some, or a blue land at some point, or it's going to be hard to win. Should be an interesting game. If I had drawn like a Saga that turn, it would have been pretty sweet too. Should I get a needle that they can't remove because they're playing no vigor? Oh, I forgot I had a video go up today. Hopefully that went up okay. Oh yeah, it's gonna just get 0 views. Okay. Rip. 7 rounds today. 7 rounds, 107 player event. All right, so my opponent actually binned a Dredger and an Amalgam. So they could bring the Icarid into play and lose out on their Dredger to get a permanent Amalgam. I think that means I'm supposed to Lantern here. It seems like that's the most value I can get. GG's QQ. Good luck in the rest. Yeah, I'm going to Lantern this. This also makes their draw step not a Dredge. I wanted to hold my Lantern for longer than that, but I don't really believe I had that choice. Maybe if I had hit the Icarid with the Soul Guide Lantern. Actually, I might have been supposed to hit the Icarid with the Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, second Bazaar. That's problematic. All right, well, I think I'm looking like I'm going to lose this game then. Unless they miss on a Dredger. Even then, like, they're gonna have 4 or 5 looks at a Dredger every turn. This looks really, 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 really bad for me. They did, you know, use 2 Serum Powders, so they are a lot more likely to have 2 Bazaars. Okay, so they only... Yeah, I'm just gonna force this. So they pitched a Rurik Thar, a Petrified Field, and they do have a Dredge 3 here. All right, blue source. Not a blue source. Yeah, I kind of agree. I was supposed to probably hit the Icarid, not the Dredger. But I don't know. It's like hard to say. Like they only pitched 1 Dredge 3er. They could easily have no more Dredgers, in which case it would have been really productive. So it's a little hard. Yeah, we're dead unless we combo kill our opponent on this next turn. So we could hit like Lotus Ancestral Tinker and still win this game. But we're pretty dead here. Yeah, 2 Bazaars is quite a compelling reason to play Dredge for sure. There's also a chance my opponent goes... Okay, now there's probably no chance. I was thinking there's also a chance like my opponent dredges too low and I can Ancestral targeting them. But they should probably just name like Tinker here. I would suspect that's probably the best name. Yeah, I mean, I think the keep I made is fine. I do think the Lantern play was probably wrong, but I don't believe it would have made too much of a difference. It might have. I might have been able to get a bunch of Dredgers or something. Though a second Bazaar would have still made my life kind of hell. So they can put in a Flayer of the Hatebound. Whatever, I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and we'll see what happens. I assume this just kills me on this turn, right? Yeah, I never hit a blue land. For sure. Like I said, I don't think I made I don't think the keep was bad. I do think that maybe the Soul Guide Lantern play was slightly less powerful than it could have been. Yeah. Yeah, my opponent just chose to draw, so they're playing around getting Ancestraled. They can just attack for 8 and then sack these 3 to try to turn a Flare, and that just kills me. I'm gonna let them do it though. I just want to see it happen. They just get Ancestral here. If we were somehow to theoretically get a turn, like my opponent made a mistake and we got a turn, our only draw is Lotus for Narset into Time Walk, and then draw like Mana Source Narset into Tinker, probably. They named Force of Will last time, so they're gonna get the Ancestral off of this one, which is fine. It makes perfectly reasonable sense. Yeah, you're right. I don't have mana for that, so I don't think I have any draws, even if I got one. Shouldn't my opponent be like Dread returning a Flare and then doing this? Oh, okay. This doesn't trigger on zombies. No, it triggers on prized amalgams though. So we actually are in pretty decent shape because we cover the 2020 sideboard plan pretty well, because we just want to bring in Swords to Plowshares against Hollow One anyways. So if they sideboard into 2020s, it's like really, really good for us because we're just gonna play 4 Swords to Plowshares. And if they just don't sideboard, then we're just still playing against 3 Force of Will Dredge. So we should have the edge no matter what, I believe. The Ancestral's in my graveyard, so I can't do that. Okay. So like I said, we're gonna sideboard into 4 Swords to Plowshare. Oh, we only have 3. We're gonna side into 3 Swords to Plowshares. Lavinia, Needle, Rab Trap. And then we're gonna take out Fluster, Island, Hercules, Opposition Agent, Fluster. Dig through time seems terrible. Yeah. Force? I think I can keep Force. Maybe I don't need Force because they don't have shit. They only have 3 Force of Wills. Yeah, maybe that's true. But what am I bringing in? All my cards are pretty bad, right? I mean, they play 0 Force of Vigor in their deck, Amir. I don't think we need a Sphinx. They're just a weird deck. They don't play Force of Vigor, so like I don't know if there's a necessity to bring in. I don't really feel like there's a super big need, right? Maybe we just like keep the land and just play less forces. I don't think it really matters. I think this is just two decks goldfishing versus each other because our opponent is, you know, on a budget version of Dredge that doesn't really have the same ways to interact with the deck as normal. Like I really don't need to force anything in my opponent's deck, right? They have 3 Force of Wills. Like they're just playing completely off of Bazaar Baghdad. Then they might play like Depths combo if they want to. I don't think they will. I think Misstep is fine because it hits Misstep, Revival, and Therapy. I think it's actually Misstep is probably even better than Force of Will. Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't know. I've never really boarded versus this list because it's a very odd and a very odd list. But we have a ton of Dredge hate, and they don't have very many counters. Like, if we resolve Lavinia Needle, they can't win. Unless they play the Dark Depths combo, I guess. I'm interested to see if they board in Dark Depths combo. I would assume they wouldn't, but I don't know for sure. Alright, I'm just looking for a hand with Needle, really. We have a hand with Needle. Though, and we have a Mystical Tutor, so yep, this is a perfectly keep. They have to have a Force on this Needle, or they're probably going to lose. I mean, they can pitch to hand size, I guess. Okay, now they mulligan, so they probably can't pitch to hand size too easily now. And then we probably just get Ancestral off of this Mystical Tutor, unless they go for like a Dark Depths kill, in which case we can get a Swords. Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't think the mulliganing this hand makes any sense, even though it's not super strong. I don't actually know if I would keep this hand versus a real Dredge deck, or like a fully powered Dredge deck. Because this hand is like super weak to Vigor. I actually don't know. I actually think I probably would not keep this hand if I was playing against a normal full cost Dredge deck. But against my opponent, I think any hand with Needle is a keep. Also, these needles do double if they board into Depths combo. They do double as being able to needle stage or Vampire Hex Mage, I guess. Either of those. Yeah, it's ManaTraders. So the deck list is right here. You can see if you want. Yeah, if I had to guess, this deck costs 99 tickets, which is dope. My opponent is in the 3-0 bracket. It's really nice to see, actually. The reason I think that is because I believe I gave someone a 99 ticket. I believe someone came to the Discord, asked for a deck that cost less than 100 tickets, and this is what we gave them. So, pretty sweet. All right, my opponent has kept their 6-card hand. I am just going to go Strand, Pearl, Needle, Pass. They have to have Force. Don't have Force. Bizarre Baghdad, F6. So now they probably have to, if they're on the Dark Depths plan, they start doing the Dark Depths thing. And if they're on the Dredge plan, they just have to pitch, they just like pass the turn and hold until hand size. We could totally lose to my opponent dredging from hand size. I think that's like well within the realm of possibility. That looks like what's going to happen. It just kind of depends on how well this Ancestral goes. I don't know. I think Ancestral makes the most sense here. Okay. I'm not going to show them Lantern right now. I now have 2 pieces of Dredge Hate. So now I have 2 pieces of Dredge Hate and I have swords for a depth or Dark Depths. So I feel pretty good, even though 2 of my cards are blank and I have no mana. Feel like we should be going to game 3 here. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yep, so they're going for hand size. Grave Troll makes sense. Let's take a peek at their hand before they concede to my Lantern. Okay, they do have Mental Misstep here, actually. So they... Wow, they must have drawn Mental Misstep for turn. Wow, that's pretty unlucky. Our hand was really, truly awful against Mental Misstep. A good reason to keep Mental Misstep in my deck. So they kept a no bizarre hand, yeah. That's a little sus in my mind. I'm a little sussed out by that keep. I'm just gonna trap them here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. That keep is very suspect to me, and I will probably just, to be safe, throw a hand hider up in game 3. I'm not saying that they're strange. I just think that's very, very weird. Enough that I want to be safe. All right, so I can just get a Black Lotus and cast Dig Through Time. Could also just get, I don't have any more lanterns actually, so yeah. No, I kept my 7-card hand first. Tinker Saga seems fine. It's going all right. Yeah. I think just to be safe, I'm gonna do that in game 3. But it's not a big deal either way because I don't know. I think it's like very possible my opponent doesn't have like an extreme amount of reps on the deck and maybe thought that was a keepable hand. I don't know. It is weird though, because you can still mulligan to like force and okay, this is just lethal actually, isn't it? You know, you can mulligan to like force or something. Do I have a hand hider still? It's been a while. I do have one. I do. All right, I think this is a fine hand to be keeping. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna resubmit. This seems fine. Again, we're just looking for an opening hand that has a needle, basically. That's what it comes down to. This was made pre-Waddle. Even though I don't think I would put Waddle there. Slasher. I would definitely put Pants. These are cards, well, not all of these cards are cards that I like, but all these cards are cards I played, I believe. I played Grim Patron, and I played the Vampire deck to a pretty high rating. Obviously, Oval Chase Daredevil is lit. I don't know why I put Ash down for the League Legends of Runeterra card. I didn't actually play Weiss Swords, but I used this token a lot for playing Magic. And then I definitely played the Fairy Tribal thing in Force of Will. And then I fucking love, what's that, Kenna from Eternal. Yeah, so it's Hearthstone, Shadowverse, Magic, Legends of Runeterra, Weiss Swords, Force of Will, and Eternal. Yeah, but if my opponent just activates at end step, then Prismatic Ending is a sorcery, so I don't really think it's worth bringing in. I think between 3 swords, 3 needles, balance, I think we have enough answers. Yeah, so it's online CCG, magic, online CCG, paper TCG, online CCG. Yeah, sure. I always liked the look of the Weiss Schwartz cards and the Force of Will cards. I think they were pretty. Yeah. Well, Magic Online is a TCG, online TCG. There's actually Magic Online is like basically the only online TCG, right? So CCG is a collectible card game, where a TCG would be a trading card game. I don't know if they can really cast Text Mage. So this hand is pretty bad against Misstep Hollow One, but I mean, it's a 7-card keep with Needle, so I'm just going to keep it, and we're going to see how it goes. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, right? Whoops. Do I have a needle? I don't know. Who knows? I kept 7. I must have one, right? Sorry. Yeah, I am not the best. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Trunks. All I know is my opponent kept a 6-card hand with no Bazaar in game 2. I don't know. I'm being cautious in this game. Okay? It was a very weird hand to keep. And I think it's totally within the range of someone making a mistake in keeping the hand. So I'm not going to accuse them of anything. I'm just going to protect myself. My opponent is currently contemplating their mulligan to 6 on the play.
A year spent watching this man throw around the most expensive pieces of cardboard known to man. Yikes heart.
But it's cheap on Magic Online. Well, it's not actually cheap, but it's much more cheap than throwing around the paper cardboard, that's for sure. Much appreciated for the 1 whole year as a fuzz. Glad you could be around for that. Been fun. Been a fun, like, 2.5 years streaming, really. We don't know. I guess that is true. I do have technically the most expensive piece of online cardboard in my deck, so maybe there is some truth to that. That's true, not foil, so not the most expensive. That is true. I have no reason to foil decks on Magic Online. I don't understand it, so. A foil Alpha Black Lotus on Magic Online would be the most expensive card on the platform, I believe. I could be wrong though. Cho Damon could answer that question for you. I don't know if he's around. Might be on Slasher stream or something. All right, my opponent is now on 5 cards. They've kept their 5-card hand on the play. They have a Bazaar. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in coverage land. I mean, if they have a Hollow One, our hand isn't great against Hollow One, right? Well, you don't know that. You don't see my hand. Don't keep a Hollow One opponent. I can't beat it. It's so dumb. All right, Icarid, no Dredger. I actually have a choice here, and I don't know what the answer is. Ooh, what shall I do? I have an idea. I have an idea. No, that idea sucks. Why'd I do this? Whatever. Well, no, that idea doesn't suck. I have some ideas, chat. I can't tell you about them though. That would ruin the secret. Hey, okay, that resolved. Interesting. How do I can't hide this? How do I hide this? I am the stupidest streamer, I swear. I am the dumbest of streamers. Are you ready, chat? You'll never see this coming. You will never see what's about to happen coming. No one could have seen this coming. Oh, it was a pithing needle, and they had the misstep, and I had the force. Okay, I'm probably gonna put my hand down and just play out from here. Okay, so what happened was I top decked Demonic Tutor for turn, and I decided to first lead with Demonic Tutor to see if it gets Force, and then I picked up a Force of Will with my Demonic Tutor to make sure the needle resolved. Tutor, yeah, I tutor for the Citadel. So now my opponent has to get up to 8 cards in hand to try to put a Dredger in their yard. So we should be pretty much easy to win here. I exiled a Dig Through Time to Force of Will. Oh, they're on the Dark Depths plan, chat. Hold up. Wait a minute. They played around it. Okay. Pretty good. I mean, that gives them a better chance of winning, I believe. We do have a Citadel coming in a couple turns. We have the ability to find a Swords if something bad happens. They have 4 Urborg in their sideboard. So they could easily go Urborg, Vampire, Hexmage, make a 20/20 next turn. And by easily, I mean that's not exactly an easy thing to do, but they could do it. For sure. This is game 3. Let's see if they got it. I think next turn I'm just going to draw my fetch and immediately fetch so I can spin and have enough mana to play a lot of different things. They have stage. They need to make 2 mana though. How sick would that be if my opponent just destroys me with a 20/20? I've actually changed my mind. I'm going to spin pre-fetch. Lavinia. That doesn't do anything. I gotta bring this back out here. Tundra. Hello? Deck? It's okay. I have a Lotus coming for a Citadel next turn. As long as I don't get forced, I guess. All right, they didn't find a Urborg here, and I have a clock. Can I make a construct? Is it actually better is it better to make a construct here? So technically I can make a construct and still cast Citadel. So probably, right? Yeah, I could just needle too. There's so many choices. I think all roads lead to victory here. I'm gonna just... Yeah, yeah, this is just winning. Yeah, it's just winning. It's just winning. Well, it's not just winning. They could have Urborg and Vampire Hexmage, but I have the clock now, so I think it's fine. Okay. Yo, Archon, thanks for the raid. Much appreciated. All right, so my opponent has to have had Vampire Hexmage in their hand and draw Urborg. They could have Force, so I think Citadel is worse than getting a Needle QQE. I kind of agree with that sentiment. I think it makes more sense to just get an uncounterable Needle here. With the two constructs, it should make the clock super fast, so. All right, we barely sneak by 100 ticket dredge. I'm really impressed that that player is for a 3-3-1 now with 100 ticket dredge. Like, and I hope they do well in the rest of the tournament. So here we go, chat. Going into round 5 of 7. Currently 4-0, playing against Golos stacks. Anything crazy about this list? No, it looks pretty straightforward. We're seeing 2 archive traps on the board, 3 null rods. Just like a 4 crucible. It's a very stock Golos list. What is this? What is this? Unfortunately, this hand is not actually keepable against Golos. No, because if my opponent plays a sphere, I don't get to play magic, so you can't actually keep this versus Golos. Nice, Slasher. Yeah, unfortunately, we are on the draw, so this is just ends up not being a keepable hand. Which is sad, for sure. I don't think I've been on the play very much, not me. My opponent kept their 7-card hand. I'm gonna mulligan my hand. This hand, not like this. No, this is much better. I actually think this hand is much better than my first one, but I don't know if I'm allowed to keep it. If I draw a land off the top, it actually is pretty good, but I feel like my opponent knows what I'm playing. Will probably look to keep a turn 1 sphere. I don't think this is a keep, unfortunately. Just, you're not really supposed to keep these hands versus shops on the draw. It's just not what you're supposed to do. This hand's much better than all those ones, so keep. I've got Mentor and Hercules, and we're done here. Yep. I think it's better to keep Hercules than it is to keep Mystical Tutor. Let's see if we get sphered, though. If we get sphered, it could be annoying. Okay, Saga Sphere, maybe? Saga Pass? That's not a keepable hand, opponent. Alright. Well, I've watched a lot of Golos stacks players keep very awkward hands today. Slasher, you're just showing why you're not good at Golos shops if you think that hand is keepable. I do have to exile my Lotus. Unfortunate, but... how am I supposed to know? Yeah, I do have to exile my Lotus here, but that's not a huge deal. Yeah, I can't see myself losing this game. I guess I could get strip mined into another Mox, maybe. I'm not exactly sure how I would exactly lose this game. Okay, they're just gonna go for Saga tokens, sure. Sure. So this Saga token is currently going to make it a 2/2. I think I would still rather just brainstorm pre-combat. I know it's a little awkward because I won't be able to like end of turn Hercules them. Maybe I don't actually want to. Maybe I just want to attack, see what they do. If they block, I brainstorm. If they don't block, then I just play Saga, pass, and end of turn Hercules them. Yeah, that kind of seems reasonable to me. So I guess they might block Monk here. Yeah, maybe this is not actually great. I don't know. I don't know how good like baiting them into a block here is. Maybe I just don't even... No, I think I'm supposed to brainstorm. I don't know. I don't really like the way I played this. Because now I could have like more art... Oh. Okay. Sure. What don't I want and what do I want? I guess I just want Hercules and Ancestral. Yeah, I kind of hate what I did. I kind of should have just brainstormed pre-combat, maybe. All right, I'm gonna hold open Hercules. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like how I played this game. I feel like we could have optimized it better. I'm not whitelisted. My opponent just misplayed. They kept a hand that wasn't keepable. You can't just keep a Saga hand against this deck. It's not good enough. Saga is like just the biggest trap of all time, I think. I mulled to 5. What do you want from me? All right, so my opponent has chosen not to make a construct here, which will probably be correct for them. Are they just going to play a Golos, maybe? Are they going to play like a Citadel? They have infinite mana. Look at this. All right, time to figure out what happens. It looks like it's probably just Golos, right? And then they can get a Tabernacle, which is annoying. So if they play Golos, I probably have to just Ancestral for a force. Karn. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? I think they're gonna go Karn into Golos. Where does that leave me in life? All they can get out of this is an Ensnaring Bridge. That'll be too much. A Null Rod, Lattice Relic. Well, floating on white doesn't do anything for me. Because I'm not going to be able to Hercules after this. They're just going to move to second main. So I don't think there's any reason not to just Ancestral right now. I do think that I'm letting Karn resolve even if I draw a force. Unless I draw into... Yeah, I don't have a negation in my deck. All right, yeah. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm going to lose this game. I'm pretty sure my opponent is going to resolve a Karn and then resolve a Golos and get a Tabernacle and kill me. Yeah, I think we're going to lose. because they top decked a Mishra's Workshop. This is like uber tilting. I don't know if I could have done something better though. Yeah, I guess my play was I should have brainstormed pre-combat, which would have been better, but I don't even know if that gets me there. Yeah, I think we just lose this game. I don't know. I mean, I could have kept my 6 or 7 card hands. Both would have easily won because my opponent didn't keep a sphere hand, but I don't know. There are not very many games where you lose to Tabernacle, but this certainly seems like it will be one of them. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the mana so that I could like bait a Hercules recall play, but I think that's like not very good. I like dropping my mentor just seems like really silly, right? But maybe I was supposed to. And I'm just tilted and made a bad play. Might be true. Like they have to keep around the Golos. No, they don't have to keep around the Golos. All they need to do is put a Lattice in play and we lose because we die to the Tabernacle trigger. Yeah, no, I think I have to let the Mentor die and just hope that they play a Lattice into my open mana. I played bad. I played that badly. It's a little weird for it to happen this way, but... They drew Workshop Academy? Yeah, I guess I was supposed to just let Mentor die so I could just Hercules recall them in response and after this Lotus resolves. I still like it's gonna be bad because I don't have a Mentor anymore. It still would have been pretty... Now, I think I could have won this game if I had just let my Mentor die right there. Because if they play this Lattice, I just float my mana, it resolves, I bounce their entire hand back, which time walks them forever. And then I go Demonic for Tinker, and then I go Vault Key combo. Yeah, I think I probably threw this game again. Fucking hell. Losing a game like that where I think my opponent didn't keep a reasonable hand is pretty rough, but I guess we can try to... We were on the draw versus Shops, so there's something to be said about that. Definitely don't need Fluster or Misstep or Soul Guide Lantern, and we want to bring in Ending and Hercules, and I actually like Lavinia on the play. I think everything else is kind of sus. I guess we could bring in more Needles for Wastelands, but I don't think that's very good. Just take out like Probe, Narset, Balance. I think having A Swords in your deck is fine, but it might not even be necessary. A lot of cards that are dead in this matchup. Maybe we want a Negation. Maybe we want another Needle. I could see wanting 2 Needles. Pretty off this dig through time as well. This seems fine. Yeah, like I don't think I played the early part of that game wrong. I do think I was still supposed to bottom Mystical Tutor. Like, if I knew my opponent wasn't going to keep a Sphere, I definitely would have kept my Mystical Tutor and just Tinker killed them. But how am I supposed... I'm not supposed to play around my opponent misplaying, right? So... I guess I could have just chosen not to Mentor, and I could have just taken Mystical and just only gone for Tinker. And maybe that would have been better. I'm not sure. I definitely would have kept my 6-card hand if I knew that was going to happen, though. Oh well. Gotta play tight and not... Yeah, I can't be doing like hypotheticals of if I made a bad keep, you know? So this seems fine. I get to deploy a bunch of mana on turn 1. I can Needle on Wasteland. And I can Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Are they on Mindbreak traps? No. If they were to not Sphere me, I could technically go Mystical for Tinker on upkeep, but I think that's too greedy. They could easily Null Rod me or revoke me or anything like that, so. All right, a Workshop hand. Workshop Needle on Saga, I assume. I don't know. I top Saga, something like that. Interesting. They didn't play a Needle in their main deck. It's pretty odd for a Saga list to not play a Needle in the main deck. Kind of seems like the best tutor target at 1. It's odd. It's odd that they didn't play a Needle in the main deck, but they brought one in. I guess this deck's like a little bit worse against Needle than PO, where you're playing Sagas. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I can only imagine that's what this is naming, but maybe it names my top in my hand, you know? Maybe it names Flooded Strand. Who's ready for Flooded Strand Sphere? Get him. Just F6ing. Whatever. Man, maybe I should have kept Mystical. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe there is maybe there was a named Manifold Key. Interesting. Got a Sphere? Revoker? Chalice on 1. I hate this game so much. All right, never mind. This game's too easy. Never mind. Game's too easy. Modern Horizons, baby. Modern Horizons. It's so easy. Exile target non-land permanent if its mana cost is less than or equal to the number. So I just need to pay 2 mana, right? X is currently 1. Okay. Yeah. All right. Dope. Ancestral. Yup. Okay. Top. Jet. Pass. All right. What else you got? Cause I want to tinker your ass. That's what I want to do. Best be null rotting me. Here. Okay. Maybe I'm not tinkering yet. Let's see what we have on our top of our library. Another prismatic ending, you say? Don't mind if I do. Okay, draw, white, black, target, done. What do I want to do here? I can go get a land ancestral. It's probably fine. No forest, so I guess things could go a little annoying here. I have won all my mana crypt flips too, which has been nice. Looks like it's just a Citadel next turn. Angle. Alright, someone timeout Slasher. I'm just Uh-oh. Oh, it's just a Golos. Never mind. No, it's okay. Slasher can stay. Slasher can stay. That was funny enough for me. Oh, Second Saga. All right. I'm not giving them another turn. I've decided. Probably take some damage here, but... Oh, yeah, there's the damage. Boom, boom, boom. Tinker. Citadel. Land drop. Probably don't need a land drop yet. There it is. That's why we didn't play our land drop. Let's mystical for demonic. No, I don't have 2 pieces yet. Let's just brainstorm. But I don't know, these 2 on top. Where is a Saga? This thing. This thing. Sure, why not? I'm just taking random actions, chat. I did this in the wrong order. Whoops. Again, it's just completely irrelevant. Nothing you do matters after you put the Bolas Citadel into play. Okay, let's go to by infinite turns. Are we gonna make me play out my infinite turns? It's fine. I don't think I'm gonna cast this Sphinx. I don't want to show them I have it. It only takes a couple turns here because I have a Citadel. I showed them a force of negation by accident. Whoops. All right, play this, and sack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Opponent's dead. Okay, game 3. Game 3. Yep, whatever, submit. Let's do it. All right, so on the draw versus Golos, we're looking for a force for a turn 1 sphere, but maybe they don't have a turn 1 sphere because that doesn't seem like it's a priority for them. So maybe we could keep a busted turn 1 hand. Let's find out together. Let's see turn 1 Tinker with force backup. How about that? I think we deserve turn 1 Tinker with force backup, right? Oh, it's turn 1 Tinker. No, it's not. It's actually short, but it's still a keepable hand. 2 islands, fast mana, ending, Tinker, Hercules. Yep, looks good. It's not great, but it looks good. Opponent mulligan. I'm gonna keep. So we can kill a turn 1 sphere with prismatic ending. Cool stuff. Opponent has mulligan to 5. That sounds like fun. Tinker is actually more fun when the artifacts are less powerful. Like, tinkering for Memory Jar is pretty dope. That's probably true. I can't actually kill a turn 1 sphere. You're right. I was lying. Yeah, I mean, if I get turn 1 Trinisphered, I get turn 1 Trinisphered. Well, if they have a sphere, it means I have to pay 1 for the pearl. So I would not be able to do it on turn 1, yes. Yeah, tinkering for like Mindslaver or Memory Jar. Okay, they kept their 5-card hand. Let's see what they got for us. Survey says Mishra's Workshop, Urza Saga, Ancient Tomb. Those are the ones I expect, but Tinker for Battle Ball. I love a good Battle Ball. I'm a big fan of Tinker for Battle Bar. Turn 1 statue. Turn 1 Golos. Please be turn 1 Golos. Oh, turn 1 Lodestone. Okay. It's not great. It's not great for me, but it's not the end of the world. As long as it wasn't as long as it wasn't statue, man. I would have lost it on statue for sure. Yeah, we should be fine unless they have a pretty strong follow-up. They didn't have a sphere last turn, Forge. Okay, that's fine. They could go off on their turn, to be fair. Holy shit. Okay, never mind. Nothing is fine. I lied. Nothing is actually fine. I can hit the sphere. Don't know if I'm supposed to. Okay, so I can get rid of the sphere, but I am in deep shit now. I don't actually know if I'm winning anymore. This Mystic Forge is probably just going to murder me because my Hercules costs 4. I think we're losing this game on their Mold of 5. I mean, they played restricted card, right? What do you mean? I can totally ending. I can't ending these, but I can ending this right now. All I need to do is fetch Island and go Island, Pearl. I just don't know if it's good. Because they actually have a Forge in play. But if they find a second sphere, I can't cast shit next turn, so I kind of have to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have to do what I have to do, right? Unfortunately, my opponent just drew all the restricted cards on their mulligan. London Mulligan, abolish it. Definitely, Lodestone is not a remotely unrestrictable card. I don't see myself winning this game, but maybe something changes. That's just like, Slasher, you're too young to understand when Mishra's Workshop had an 80% win rate. You're too young to understand. Oh, London Mulligan was atrocious for all constructed formats, but that's a little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, that's true. Maybe 80% is lowballing it. That's fair. I need my opponent to hit like Crucible terrible cards only on the top of their library. It kind of looks like they might have. Come on, hold. How about a land on top? No, not that land. All right, okay. We're good. We're not dead. And I have it Hercules Recall right now, but I can't cast it because they will just replay everything, right? So I have to just go for an end step Hercules, and that's all I can do. I guess we could just put a Tinker in play right now because they only have one thing, right? So if I just go Academy, Tinker for a Sphinx, that might be good enough. I don't have a Blightsteel in my version. For whatever reason, I chose not to put a Blightsteel in my deck. I could also just Hercules them and play Ancestral. Try to find a force. I probably shouldn't use my... No, I should use... Should I use my Academy? Should I use my black mana? No, I should probably use my Academy. Yeah, I think I'm putting a Sphinx in play, even though they have an active Forge. I think that's my line. I think Sphinx is my line. I think I have a higher... Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's better. They kind of have to like overwhelm it. There's a couple ways. So most of the ways they beat Sphinx involve Karn. Like Golos for a Tabernacle, Karn for a Lattice kind of deal. Yeah, Strip Mine with Crucible and then Tabernacle will work as well. I think this is not a bad spot. It's all about how badly this turn goes for me. So my opponent has 8 mana and an active Mystic Forge. So there's like a ton of ways this goes extremely badly for me and I die. But there are also a bunch of ways where my opponent like hits 2 lands and bricks. So okay, upkeep Forge to get rid of a Wasteland makes sense. And now we have a draw step. We don't know what's on their top of their library. Maybe it's another land, in which case they don't have any more spells to play this turn, which would be fantastic. They can Wasteland my Academy and replay their Wasteland. Looks like they hit a spell, though. Another Crucible, that's fine. They wasted my Academy, yeah. Replay their Wasteland, I assume. Yeah, and that's a brick. It sounds like they bricked on their Forge. No, didn't brick on their Forge. They're tapping for something. A Thorn of Amethyst. That's really annoying, because now we can't cast Harkle's Recall. Okay. 3-turn clock on this Sphinx. Yeah, we're just kind of on a holding pattern here. They do keep taking damage from this Forge, which is nice. I technically could have a Force here. I could easily cast a Force if I had one, but I don't have one, so it doesn't really matter. This game has been very, very much a roller coaster. Incredibly wild. If I come out on top, I think I got pretty lucky to get there. So let's see what happens. True, can't use their tomb anymore. That's another fair point. There's a lot of bricks with Mystic Forge just because the deck has so many lands, right? So Golos Shops plays 25 lands. There are a lot of bricks with this Mystic Forge. I agree. I don't think they're making optimal choices in regards to when they're activating Forge and how they're using their Wasteland. They know my deck list, so they know I don't have more than 2 islands. So yeah. There are definitely optimizations that could happen here. That could have happened here. Either way, I do think we're like, if we do come out on top here, which it might happen, feel like we would be pretty lucky to do so. If this is a Golos, uh-oh. So this Golos gets a strip mine. So we lose unless we find a land. No, then they also have to find a Tabernacle too. So they need to find a strip mine and a Tabernacle, right? So maybe they can't do that. I mean, you're not playing the strongest deck. They got a Tellarian. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense here. Okay. Yeah, I will be casting Ancestral, do not worry. All right, looking for more lands. That's a land. Still can't cast anything in my hand. So I think we're in the clear, unless they could Karn Bridge. They could Karn Bridge. Karn Bridge would beat us. That's the way out. I can't cast my Prismatic Ending, chat. That costs white mana. Maybe I'm supposed to hold this Saga? Probably not. What I really wanted to draw was like Mox in there, right? I don't think this game's over yet. Don't say C. Don't say C yet. I don't think this game is over yet. I think there's a very real chance we die on this next turn still. Yeah, I guess we just draw into this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're on can opponent find it. They get a bunch of looks here. I don't know. I'm scared. Yeah, the game hasn't been in my hands since the Tinker. No, actually, it wasn't really the Tinker. It was this Thorn. Once this Thorn resolved, the game was pretty much not in my hands anymore. I wonder if the Golos Shops deck should play a top. A Sensei's top. They can get it off of Urza Saga, right? Yeah, I think there's exactly one way out of this game for my opponent. Exactly one. Yep. See what happens. You tried a top? Interesting. That's fair. They still have a Forge activation too, right? I don't know what they're tanking about, right? If it's on top, they should just play it. If it's... I don't know, what are we tanking about here? Yeah, I would say Candelabra's probably bad. All right, Sphere goes in the bottom. That's what they were tanking on. They were wondering if they were supposed to get rid of Sphere. That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair thing to tank on for sure, because it's going to affect like the amount of cards you see. But the problem with getting rid of Sphere is now you die to a land, which seems like what happened. So I don't think you can actually get rid of Sphere. I think you have to cast Sphere and just like hope you have enough mana. Wow. I feel like we luck sacked our way through that game for sure. And we almost got punished for not having a Blightsteel in our deck. We almost got punished for not having a Blightsteel in our deck, that's for sure. That's something that I worried about, was not having a Blightsteel. If we had a Blightsteel doesn't die to like the Tabernacle thing, right? Still loses to Bridge, but that is definitely a downside to not playing Blightsteel. Whew. I'll take it. We'll take it. All right, here we are, chat. 6th round out of 7 rounds. 5-0 versus 5-0. We're playing against Leofa, powerful wizard. Leofa is on this PO list. It's kind of a weird PO list. It's Esper, but it has Hold Reacher, Days Undoing, and Time Twister in it, along with 3 Urza Saga. My hand doesn't contain mana, so I'm not going to keep it. This hand also doesn't contain mana, so I'm not going to keep it. I guess I'm going to keep this hand and die. Yeah. I'm just gonna bottom Yogwill Delta and try to draw a blue card and go turn 1 Saga, Emerald Lantern, and then Academy. But his hand's really bad against PO. It doesn't have a turn 1 force, so I'm a little scared, but what am I gonna do? I'm bowled to 5. I don't think I'm supposed to go to 4 on a keepable 5. Maybe they won't have a powerful hand. Oh my god, all my things went away. Literally all my changes got overwritten too. Vintage ManaTraders 15k. 5-0. Okay, we're back, I guess. That's... Jeez. Okay, short. Oh boy. All right, try to just like refocus away from all this crashes and stuff. All right, blue card for force is nice. They chose not to shuffle. That doesn't really do it for me. But what I'll do is I'll just eat their thing, and I can always draw into a blue card if I need to. Or try to draw into a blue card anyways. It's gonna be a rough game. My opponent obviously started with a couple more cards than I did, and my hand is a little sus. We'll see what happens. Time walk, I assume. Yep. Can't really do much about this. Don't really think it's worth it to try to stop. Looks like they're just gonna make a land drop and make some Saga tokens. It's fair. Academy? Uh-oh. Wait, do they have a Mox? They don't have a Mox. Wow. That's interesting. It's a weird PO hand. I think I'm going to draw in case I hit a mental misstep. I feel like they must have a Flusterstorm. There's like some pluses here though. How many Flusters are in their deck? There's only one Fluster in their deck. I'm going to force this. It's aggressive, but I kind of like it. Turns off their Academy. Yeah, all right, it worked out. Dope. Anything I needle, I also get hit by, right? Besides Teferi. God, there's a duress in this list? What's happening? Needling on Saga before I activate my own Saga just does not feel like the play. I don't know if there's like anything that I also don't get hit by. Misty. I could name Misty. I'm gonna name Misty Rainforest, chat. God, that's a play. All right, so they can't activate this. They're probably just going to get their own top. Maybe I'm supposed to needle top. Oh, I need to activate in response. Oh, I didn't activate in response. Jeez. Maybe I was just supposed to name top then. I was supposed to activate the Saga in response, though, in case they needled back. This is just PO. I punted. I punted horribly. I should have named Tensei Stop anyways because of their Saga. I didn't really think about that, to be perfectly honest. It was a pretty bad play. My opponent is just going to draw PO and beat me, unfortunately, I think. I would have to draw extremely well, like Ancestral, maybe. Yeah, this should have been Sensei's top, 100%. And then I definitely should have activated before my opponent got a thing, because then they could get Needle. I misplayed this game pretty badly. If I lose, like my opponent's hand, my seven card hand wasn't not very good. So if I lose, it's mostly on me for making pretty bad plays. Though they did just top deck a Soul Ring, which is very good. Because now they have PO for 3. PO for 5. This is PO for 5. Yeah, I mean, that's going to kill me. So it's actually PO for 6, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, though, yeah, they have to activate. No, never mind, because they're out of mana now. So it's only 5 now. Yep. Oh, they're just going to do double draw. Okay. Why aren't we playing PO? Because PO is a bad Magic the Gathering card. It's very simple. I've told you this a million times. I do not want to play PO in the whole Breacher meta. Please and thank you. I simply cut the bad cards out of my deck, Mox Opal and PO, and playing a better deck. They're attacking? Okay. I didn't think you were attacking, but by all means, you want to attack into my 3/3? All right. What do we got? Top deck swords. That's not very good, is it? So if I do this and I get white mana, if I do this, I make a construct, I get a Lotus, and I go Mentor, Soldier, Snapcaster, attack. And I hope they just don't ever top deck a PO. Or I get a top and I try to find an answer to a PO. It seems pretty hard for me to find an answer. Because I can't have Force. Can only be Fluster. That might not be good enough. I could find like my own Tinker, theoretically. I'm just gonna fucking try to aggro them, maybe? What's the clock on that look like? It's 2 4/4s. And they're at 21, and I have a Mentor and a token, so I have to draw like multiple spells. That sounds pretty bad to me. But I don't know if it gets better. I already used my needle, and I could have used it on like key. I feel like if I get a top, I still can't do anything with it this turn unless I don't make a construct. Which seems worse. I think I'm supposed to make a construct. Getting a pearl means I'm not swordsing this turn. Maybe that's fine. Is that actively better? Like if they just chump this turn, or they pick this up with PO. No, I think that's worse. Yep, we're going aggro, and we're just gonna hope there's all blanks on our opponent's top deck here. It's kind of all we've got going for us. No, I'm swordsing their Snapcaster Mage. I'm not cracking after the attack. I'm not giving them a chance to block. All right, we're dead. My opponent had Vampiric, so they just get Manifold Key. They just get Time Vault and kill us. I don't know. We had a much worse hand than our opponent, and it showed. I do think this Needle was terrible. So it's possible that our opponent might not have been able to win if we had Needle to Sensei's top, which we definitely should have done. So, I don't know. I'm stupid, I guess. That was a really big misplay there. I don't know exactly what they drew off, but I feel like really hampered my chances by not naming top there. Like, I knew that they could go get another top, so it's like doesn't really even make sense to just not name top. All right. Obviously, I want Lavinia, Force of Negation, Flusterstorm, and I don't want Sphinx, Island, Needle, as we saw. Sphinx, Island, Needle, Soul Guide Lantern's garbage. And maybe we can play like a Prismatic Ending. I guess they're on 2 Hull Breachers, so I could play more swords than I already am. Maybe I want a second swords. I think just having a Prismatic Ending is fine. I don't like balance. Balance is fine too, but I think this is what I want to do. Yeah, I like 1 Hercules for tutor, target, 2 swords for Hull Breacher, an ending for random stuff, and then my anti-combo cards. My opponent's on a weird deck. My opponent's got some tech in the sideboard. They have like a Mystic Remora, Flusterstorm. Yeah. Anyways, Pithing Needle was probably not great. Yep. Keep. I think Mystic Remora is incredibly bad right now, and the reason for that is Hull Breacher. Hull Breacher just completely negates Remora, so I would just not play it. My opponent has a Force and a Remora and swords and a Vault. It's a weird hand. Oh, I'm gonna make them force this. I assume they pitch Fluster, or I assume maybe PO. Maybe they pitch PO. Force pitching PO. Yeah. All right, so my opponent's hand is Remora, Time Vault, Island, Fluster, Swords. Didn't play Remora, holding open Fluster. Drew a Swords to Plowshares. Not ideal. Not ideal. Yeah, so obviously I'm not playing my Demonic Tutors directly into their open Fluster. They drew a Swords mana. That's pretty sad for me. Okay. So they're going to continue, yeah, holding open Fluster. Oh, I didn't spin? I don't know. I'm playing really atrociously now. I just didn't even spin. Why? Because I'm extremely tilted from all of the random things that are happening outside the game. And I'm trying to come back into the focus, but it's not going well. This Remora is going to kick my ass, though. I don't have any Hull Breachers in my deck. What the fuck are these draws? They literally drew Mana Source and Manifold Key. Whatever, man. I don't know. It's just fucked. They didn't tutor, they just drew it, you know? They have Flusterstorm. I'm dead. I'm just 100% dead. So what happens is, even if I find Mental Misstep, they resolve it, and then I have to draw Prismatic Ending. To be fair, I didn't spin, and I probably should have spun, so my own fault, I guess. My deck. Fucking whatever. Why are they keeping... Okay, sure, whatever. My only out is they brick 18 times, which I don't think is physically possible, but I'm gonna give it my best go. Because if they brick 18 times, then they probably get the mana at some point to untap it. I guess I can draw into Fluster at some point. I guess this some point is now. So if for some reason I do get a turn, I do have Demonic Tutor into Prismatic Ending the key, but then they would have to not hold up blue mana for some reason, so that doesn't really work either. Oh, they drew a Steel Sabotage. All right, you got me, homie. Yeah, those games were not really remotely close. We of course didn't really get PO'd either, right? Yeah, okay. All right, well, we got to win our last one. I could have played them slightly better, but I don't know if I could have played them enough better to win, so. Here it is, chat. 7th and final round of this Swiss tournament. I am 5-1, winning into top 8. We're playing against Umas here, who is a Golos stacks player, a pretty stock-looking Golos stacks build, very similar to the one we played in round 5. Let's battle on the play. Yep. Land wins it? No. I need a little bit of extra mana. Am I still supposed to keep? Probably still supposed to keep. I'm probably still supposed to keep here. If I miss on a mana, I can go... Well, I probably want to just get Island. I could go Ghost Quarter, Needle on Ghost Quarter, and key, and then try to draw mana on another turn. I think I'm supposed to keep this. This doesn't feel like a hand I'm supposed to put back. I mean, I have a 7-card hand versus Golos stacks that includes Vault and Key, but not enough mana. And no forces. I guess I wouldn't play Key and Needle. I would probably just go Island and Vault, and then that way I actually am still insulated versus Ghost Quarter and Strip. And I'm just not insulated against Strip Mine is what I'm not insulated against. So I probably would just go Vault if I missed on a mana. If I hit a mana though, I might still go like Time Vault Needle. I don't know. Because I could still beat Sphere, but I don't want to show them Key for like Revoker, right? There are some considerations here. They're on 1 Spyglass. 0 needles from them, just a Spyglass and 4 Revokers. All right, my opponent has kept their 7-card hand. I am just going to go Time Walk, Lotus, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, win it. Mentor is a shit draw. I'm just going to go Time Vault, pass. So we're hoping our opponent doesn't revoke us, I guess. All right, Workshop and Sphere, maybe? Relic and Sphere? And Chalice on 1? Jesus. Well, we certainly got punished for the line we took. I don't know, man. I feel like I took the right line, though. Come on. Like, theoretically, if I hadn't drawn Key, this Saga is really good, right? Oh, man. I can't believe we got chaliced on 1. That's so sad. Yeah, we have to draw the Hercules Recall, is what we would have to draw. I mean, if they don't have a Wasteland, the Saga is still very, very good. So there's some upsides here. That's fine with me. As long as they don't have a Wasteland. Yeah, we have things like Lotus off Saga. We get to make some constructs. Things are still okay, but this was pretty tilting. Wasn't good for the... Oh, they have Wasteland too. All right, well. Looks bad. Looks bad for the home team here. I could skip a turn. Don't think it's correct, though. Yep, all right, cool. The mana in this deck is so bad. Yeah, the Chalice on one was pretty heartbreaking. Second Wasteland, of course. Yeah, but they have no follow-up, so they're not clocking us, which is a classic Golos Shops deck. Yeah, you got me. Sure. They can sack their Relic now to draw another card, though. I don't know exactly if they would, but... Probe. Oh, right. Never mind. I just took 2 damage for no reason. Never mind. It's okay. I don't think it matters very much. Not much I can do. I have no castable spells. Yeah, you gotta give them a check every once in a while. Is this gonna be a Crucible? Okay, I can't play non-basics. Oh, fuck off! I hate Golos so much. That is the most tilting. Though even a Ghost Quarter would be about as tilting as that, so it doesn't really change too much. Like if it was a Ghost Quarter, it would also be a lockout. Sure. All right, so I have a Time Vault in Despair. I don't think I'm going to use it unless I draw like a Black Lotus. I drew a Flusterstorm. Okay. We don't need a land because we can go like Emerald, Lotus, and then something else. There are definitely things that technically can win us the game, but they're pretty few and far between, so. Well, my opponent is comboing off, which is fun. Triple restricted off of Forge is not good for the home team. Probably if I get another turn without there being super restrictions, then I will activate my Time Vault and then just concede after. Bro, I'm off it. I'm off it. Let's just go next. I activate my vault, then they name my emerald, and then it's just like, it's not happening. I think my keep was correct. I think my play was correct. I think it just didn't work out, and that is sometimes how it be. So. Fluster, Misstep, Narset, Soul Guide Lantern. Balance, dig. Probe. I don't think you want to take Citadel out on the play. Maybe just swords. Still hits Golos. Might be nice to have one. Maybe just like Yogwell. I kind of like Opposition Agent because my opponent is on Sagas. I don't hate Opposition Agent. I think it's better than Yogwell. I'm gonna go like this. All right, I lost my game on the play versus Shops, which is unfortunate. We kind of needed to either sequence differently or draw better, or both. I think it makes the most sense the way we played it, and playing around Chalice on 1 is kind of silly, especially when Chalice on 1 doesn't really stop like Saga key. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't matter if it doesn't stop Saga key. I don't know. On the play, Tinker. No Tinker, but we do have an Ancestral. I am going to cast Ancestral on my turn. I'm okay with overdrawing because it gives me more of an opportunity to get down 0 drops. And we drew an Emerald anyways. All right, not a bad start. No forces, but I do have Hercules, and I have like Saga Walk into into Lavinia. Lots of interesting things here. Lots of interesting things here. My opponent has basically the same board as my other Golos player. They're probably bringing in like a Grafdigger's Cage, a Needle, 3 Null Rods. All right, another Lotus Hand. That could be pretty problematic. Okay, they have 5 mana. Definitely wish I could have developed a Lavinia on turn 1. They have 7 mana. Yep. Well, a lot of things can go wrong here, let me tell you that much. Revoke onto Emerald into like Sphere is pretty tough for us to beat. Okay, they didn't have... Oh, they're going to next... Yeah, sure. Yep. All right. Okay, just a Sphere. Okay. I'm going to go Saga Soul Ring. I don't really think it's correct to fetch my other basic island because that just turns on Ghost Quarter. So I think I would rather like make them have a wasteland right now and up my mana count substantially. The only other option was like land preordain, which doesn't seem very good. All right, so my opponent still is on 7 mana, but things cost 1 more. Okay, 5 mana, 7 mana, statue. Okay, spells cost 3 more. I can I was about to say I can currently pay for Hurkyl's Recall through that, but they also have a Wasteland. So I cannot. Okay, that's decent. I don't think it's worth it to play a Preordain to expose my Flooded Strand. Let's just get to 5 mana, I guess. One the flip again. Could definitely use them losing a few flips with their Ancient Tomb as their only mana source. This is not symmetrical, unfortunately. For fuck's sake, dude. Okay, yep, fantastic. Yep, you got me. I don't even win this race because of statue. Yeah, I think I lose. Don't really know much I can do about this kind of nut draw with me having no forces, right? Don't exactly think I have counterplay here. I just ancestraled into 0 forces and immediately lost the game to my opponent's nut draw, right? I don't think there was counterplay. Guess they could lose every flip from here on out, right? Does that win the race? Maybe. They did win too many flips. So these currently, I could cast a Preordain, but I would take 2. Maybe I am supposed to cast a Preordain, hold on. So if I cast a Preordain, I take 2 and go to 8. But I can find a land and cast Hurkyl's on the next turn. That's probably worth it. It's very unlikely they lose every flip and I win. So let's just get a bunch of non-basics so that I don't turn off this Ghost Quarter, and we'll cast a Preordain. I need to find more lands. Those are not lands, so they go bottom. That is not a land. Yeah, they won the flip, so made the right play. My opponent can't cast too many spells right now either. I need to draw land right now. Drawing land right now lets me end of turn and I can win. Did not draw land. So now if I draw land, I have to do it right away. And I also have to draw... I have to spin a top into a blue source. Okay, so I guess I hold open negation. No, it's better to play a top than hold open negation. Yeah, I can't cast Time Walk. That card costs way too much mana. Wombo, you're a fucking idiot. Because I've already clearly Hurkyl's recalled in that instance. So you can get a fucking timeout. We're talking about the instance where I draw a land, Hurkyl's my opponent, play a top, and spin for a blue source. Against my opponent's Null Rod, yes. God, the fucking kids, man. All right, so I think it actually makes sense for us to... Well, I can't beat another sphere, so maybe I have to hold open negation. I don't know. It's either like save a mana on the next turn. I don't really need to save a mana though. I just need to find a blue source, right? So imagine being someone who like shits on Twitch chat and then says this kind of shit. You know, like makes completely incorrect statements like the rest of Twitch chat. All right, so I go to 2 and I have to draw a land. So I guess if if I had played top, it makes my Tolarian Academy draw better. This is game 2 and I'm down a game, so I have to draw land right now or I'm on breakers. Survey says land. Nope. Game over. I feel like I just got outdrawn pretty badly. Not really much I could do about it. In both games, I kept hands that made sense and I just got outdrawn. So I don't really think I played this round badly. I think I just died. All right, we're on breakers for top 8. That's just how it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, I would blame myself for last round. I think last round I did play very poorly, but this round I didn't do anything wrong. My opponent just had the Golos stacks curve. The famous Loriwa curve, as it is. There was no hope, chat. There was no hope. All right, not much I can do. Like I said, I am not super happy with my play in rounds 1 and 5. Sorry, 1 and 6. But that round was not an issue. All right, so here's the recap, right? We played against Blue-Red Kiln Fiend. I threw game 1 and then we won anyways. Just hadn't really woken up yet. Then we played against... I don't remember what Thunderstriker was on. Was it Bug? No, it was Ragavan.deck. And it went very well. Felt pretty good. We got a little bit lucky because our opponent had a pretty good deck against us, but it is what it is. And then we played against QQ on Oops All Spells. Tough battle, but we ended up getting there. We had to top deck pretty well in game 1 to win that game, but it ended up working out. Then we played against the 100-ticket Dredge. And it was actually pretty close. We ended up losing game 1, but pulled out the sideboard games when they didn't really have a sideboard. So, and then we played against our first Golos stacks opponent, snuck out a win there, and then got thoroughly demolished by PO, where I definitely played poorly. Was just like uber tilted about some things outside of the game that I couldn't separate from the game. But that's fine. We regrouped after that. My opponent did draw really well and play well in this game too, though. So it was a hard game to win, even if I played perfectly. And then in this last round, I think we played pretty well in this last round versus Golos stacks, but we just did not have the draws line up against their draws. So currently we're sitting at 5th with the best breakers in the tournament by a large amount. So I think it's fairly likely that we will be the 1-5-2 that breakers in. It's opponent match win percentage is the first one, right? Not player match win percentage is not the first breaker, right? Oh, I mean, this would be the same, right? This would be the same as everybody else because it's 5-2, 71%. So yeah, this is the breaker. So yes, as of right now, I think we're looking pretty good. It's possible that if Dom loses, that Dom could jump us in breakers, theoretically. I don't exactly know who Dom is playing against, but I hope Dom just wins and that makes things easy for us. I think Dom is the only one who could jump me on breakers, but I think it's likely I will breaker into top 8 here, which is extremely lucky, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Either way, the top 8 is not today. The top 8 is tomorrow morning. So that's going to end the stream. If you want to watch the top 8, I will be here tomorrow morning, bright and early, and I will be streaming the top 8. I don't know if there are any rules on that where I have to like play without chat or play on a delay. I'm going to ask ManaTraders that later. I don't even know what time it is, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even know. I don't know what time top 8 would be tomorrow. Does it say anywhere? No, it just says August 29th everywhere that I can see. I would assume it'll be, again, 10 a.m. Eastern. So the same start time as today is what I would assume. So If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking around for 7 rounds. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Help me boost the algorithm points, and stay tuned for hopefully what will be a follow-up video of the top 8. And yeah, thanks for watching.